morning, everybody. Tyler, aka Signing back in here, coming to you live from the NFL Combine. As always, it's me again. And I'm excited for the simple fact that I'm even here experiencing this, not only as a fan, but as a journalist as well. Came across many different people yesterday, all shapes, all sizes, all kinds. But that's what the NFL Combine is about. You come across people you never think you would expect to ever meet. And one thing about it is you're going to see the absolute best go at it. And that is what we saw yesterday. So if you could, please subscribe to the channel if you have not already, because this is about to be a huge day here on day 2 of the NFL Combine. But I'm going to get into day 1 actually to really give you a rundown of what happened. But before you do that, please subscribe, follow, like, comment, and share this video, but also on my social media platforms to keep up with my traction and to also keep up with me as we go along in this journey. So, live here once again from Indianapolis, Indiana, Lucas Oil Stadium is the place for the Scouting Combine. I'm going to get into a little bit of history for the NFL Combine. It began in 1982 as a centralized scouting event. But today, it's $1 billion innovation machine. And that's what you want to see when it comes to the NFL, who has so much criticism behind it right now. But also, too, it gives fans a chance to come and see their favorite teams or their favorite prospects, if they are in college football, play their butts off, rise up draft boards. Players are going to fall. We understand that. But at the same time, everybody is here for the same reason, to hear their name called by the commissioner or by any special guest, but of course by the commissioner, but to hear their name called and get that phone call on draft day regardless. So what it tests, for those of you who don't know, it's the 40-yard dash, vertical and broad jump, 3-cone drill, bench press, medical evaluation, and of course, the most important part to me is the team interviews. That is where they evaluate the player, and you have the GMs and the head coaches in these events, in these meetings, in these offices. So that way, you're looking at it from a perspective of, maybe, just maybe, this could be the guy. Once again, I'm at the Combine, February 26th through March 1st, Lucas Oil Stadium, 319 prospects on NFL Network and NFL Network Plus. If you want to watch the Combine fully, you go to those channels, and you can subscribe to the NFL Network as well and watch for yourself. But today is tight ends and defensive backs day at 3 p.m. Yesterday, it was the defensive lineman, and let me tell you, one word stole the show for me: Sonny Styles. He stole the show, and I fell in love with Sonny Styles yesterday. I did. I didn't really like him leading up to the Combine, but everything that he showed me is the reason why he is the clear second best linebacker in this draft, right behind his buddy in Arvell Reese. Ohio State just breeds defense, I guess, because Caleb Downs is going to be the star of today. We know that. Whether he does good or bad, he's going to be at the forefront of today's events because to many, especially Mel Kiper Jr., he is the best prospect in this draft, the most Pro Bowl ready, the most pro ready, the future Pro Bowl. I even said that Caleb Downs in a featured video with Millions in an interview now, if you can go look at it on my Instagram, that Caleb Downs is, without the shadow of a doubt, ready for the NFL. So the most invites, Ohio State has with 11. The fewest, Minnesota Golden Gophers has the fewest, but I just recapped it for you, and everybody did good. But I'm going to get into Sonny Styles yesterday and what he did yesterday. He stood out to me. TJ Parker, underwhelming just a little bit. I feel like he could have ran a better time. LT Overton could have ran a better time. But Sonny Styles delivered a historic performance on day 1 of the NFL Scouting Combine, setting a record of his position in the vertical jump, and also in all defensive participants in multiple categories. He led all of those, by the way. Let me go down to Combine results for you. 4.46. That's tied for first at his position, tied with Arbel Reese. So him and Arbel Reese, teammates at Ohio State, they ran the same 40 time. Impeccable. Vertical jump, 43.5 inches. That's first. All-time record for linebackers over 240 pounds. That's impressive. The broad jump is 11.2. That's first. That's tied for fourth best all-time among linebackers. And the 10-yard split was 1.56 seconds. That's tied for first as well. Ohio State continues to breed the pipeline of elite talent, defensive backs, receivers, pass rushers, and their pro-ready bodies. We can go back to Chase Young and how pro-ready he was. Now, obviously, Chase Young has not turned out to be the premier edge rusher that we had thought that he was going to be, but everybody doesn't have that chance right away. Everybody doesn't have that chance to be successful right away. And you have to look at it from a standpoint of, well, maybe this is the time that Ohio State can finally start breeding some edge rushers. Yes, I understand Nick Bosa. Yes, I understand Joey Bosa. I get it. But who has been at the top when it comes to edge rushers? It hasn't been Ohio State. It hasn't been Ohio State. I would take Penn State linebackers over them. I would. But this draft class could change my mind. The Combine doesn't crown stars. It reveals them. That is why you watch the Combine, because you look at what these players can do. They come here for one reason. That's to get drafted, but that's to steal the show. Steal the show. And these were my top 10 prospects this week. Coming into this week, as you can see on your screen, Fernando Mendoza, number 1. Ruben Bain, number 2. Arbel Reese is number 3. Caleb Downs is number 4. Jeremiah Love is number 5. And Ruben Bain will not be participating in any drills, but will take some interviews. I'm starting to think that he may have a draft promise. I'm not so sure about that, but we have to stay tuned. Cardinal Tate at number 6. Sonny Styles, the showstopper, at number 7. Makai Lemon at number 8. Jordan Tyson at 9. And David Bailey at 10. David Bailey, I'm going to keep him at 10. People thought I was crazy. Yeah, he didn't really perform like I thought he was going to yesterday. And I get the hype on David Bailey, but I'm not taking him in the top 5. I'm not. And if I'm Tennessee, I'm not reaching. If Arbel Reese is there, you take it. I would probably look at Sonny Styles over David Bailey at the moment. I'm not saying do it, but at the moment, I would definitely think about taking Sonny Styles in the top 5. I would do it. I would do it if I were them. Now, fun facts about the Combine. I got one fun fact for you. Did you know that at the Combine, you can't even eat regular meals like you would in an NFL game? They got your caramel popcorn. They got your concession stands open. But no burgers, no fries, no chicken tenders. I wait for myself. I know. I was kind of shocked. But at the same time, I understand. So the moral of that fun fact is be prepared. Eat something before you go. Eat something after you go. You can get snacks here and there, chips, of course. They got chips, drinks, of course. They got all that stuff. But the experience is what you want to go for, not for the food. The experience is what you want to go for. And to segue into the next topic that I have for you guys, which is who is on the rumor mill, I'm going to say one thing to help segue in this topic. The Combine is fun, especially when you're sitting there as a fan, but also as a journalist, and you just see rumors flying across your phone. You see a trade come across your phone yesterday when you landed in Indianapolis that Jermaine Johnson got traded to the Tennessee Titans for Tremondre Sweat. And the Jets traded Jermaine Johnson. I'm kind of confused by that. The Jets actually traded a good defensive player again. So they traded 3 good defensive players that they could have built around in this new era. Sauce Gardner, Quinnen Williams, and now Jermaine Johnson are all gone. Don't get me wrong. I love Sweat. He's a good player. But do we really think he's going to be that good of a player when it comes to being a part of this next era? I think he's just there as filler on a one-year deal. I do believe he's not going to be back next year. The Jets know they're going to be horrible once again. They're thinking about rebuilding. They're already starting that. Aaron Glenn, the head coach, was caught sleeping, but he did have interviews. Don't let the media tie you up into that. He did have a lot of interviews to do. He was definitely exhausted, for sure. Probably jet lagged as well. So take all those things into account. Don't look at it from one side. The Jets have a lot to do this offseason. They have a lot to do to get back to where they want to be, and that is a good team and possibly, hopefully, win a Super Bowl. Now, who's in the rumor mill? NFL teams can officially start trading at the 4 p.m. deadline time. So let me go ahead and tell you what that means. Jermaine Johnson is not officially a Titan yet. He will be officially a Titan at 4 p.m. on March 11th. So the trade is still not official, even though to us it's official. I mean, of course it's going to go through. I just don't see a trade like that getting nixed. But still, if it's a big-time trade that happens, like an A.J. Brown gets dealt or a Kyler Murray somehow gets dealt, or Tua's, or somebody actually takes on Tua's money, which I don't think is going to happen, or Wyatt Teller maybe get dealt for some picks. Okay, because it's the weight of the player. It's the weight of the player and the want by the team. So I'm going to get into my two rumor mill partners here. Tua Tagovailoa for the Miami Dolphins and Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals. Contract questions with Tua. Durability issues, obviously we know about the concussions, the cap flexibility and the dead cap that will come with it if you release him. Also, possible fits if he's moved. I have the Falcons. That's surprising. I have the Falcons on here, and I have the Raiders. Both of those teams make no sense, but let me tell you why they make sense. Fernando Mendoza, I get it. He's great. But you could use a backup just in case you get hurt. I'm not saying he's going to get hurt, but you can use some insurance, and Tua could revive his career. I'm not saying Mendoza's going to flame out either, but it's a good spot. It's somewhere new, and it's across the country. And I feel like he would thrive under a Kubiak system. No shade to Mike McDaniel, but I feel like he would. And for the Falcons, it's just a backup opportunity. I don't see Michael Penix getting hurt at all this season. We're going to invest in the offensive line. And if he does get hurt for one game, okay, cool. Tua get in there, just don't throw picks. That is what we expect from you as fans, but also journalists as well. We want you to succeed, but when you start messing up and throwing ill-advised interceptions like that, then we're going to have to start having some real conversation. So Tua in a timing-based offense with weapons, he'll win games. He's shown it before. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, and Darren Waller. He showed it. Mike Gesicki. He's shown it when that team was well put together in Miami and they were healthy. They went to the playoffs. He can win games, but there's always a but with Tua. Availability is the headline with him. If he cannot stay healthy, he cannot be available for you. It's like Anthony Richardson in this whole trade talk with Anthony Richardson, who officially requested a trade yesterday from the Colts. If you cannot be available, they're not going to want you. And Anthony Richardson, to me, still has a lot. I wouldn't give up on him. If I'm the Vikings, I'm looking at that. If I'm the Vikings, I'm looking at Anthony Richardson. I just had to sneak that in there because Anthony Richardson is the top of the trade rumor mill this morning. But Vikings, Anthony Richardson, Tua, Falcons, and Raiders, and then Kyler Murray. My God. New regime questions. After they hired Mike LaFleur, Matt LaFleur's brother, if you did not know. I feel like he's going to turn his Arizona around. I really feel like this is the guy. I feel like the other coaches that they had in there, Bruce Arians, No shade to him, but he was definitely of age when it comes to the NFL. The game passed him by. The game passed him by. Steve Wilks, I think he was just a filler. We continue to go down the list of coaches that they've had. Jonathan Gannon, obviously the most recent one. I would say one thing about Jonathan Gannon, and then we'll break away. As you can clearly see on the screen right here, the teams I gave you are the teams that I think he would fit best in. But the teams that are on your screen are the teams that I think they are going to go to. So Tua, Vikings and Steelers. Kyler Murray, Jets and Steelers. I have both of them as possible Steelers options. I don't think Aaron Rodgers comes back. And if he does come back, what are we doing? You're supposed to be moving forward with Mike McCarthy. You think he's going to be the guy to turn this around. You should be trying to rebuild, but the Steelers, they don't know how to rebuild. I don't think they want to even go into a rebuild. They don't want to be bad. They don't want to be bad. They don't want to be good. They just want to continue to be mediocre unless they do something. And I feel like Kyler Murray or Tua could get you there. Yes, I understand they're injury prone. Yes, I understand Tua has an injury history. Yes, I understand Kyler Murray has an injury history. But look at this from the bigger picture. You do not have a secure quarterback. And I love Will Howard from Ohio State last year. Loved him. I just don't trust him. Not right now. One more year of development. One more year of development. At least one more. At least one more. That's it. But when we come back in 3 minutes, I'm going to give you my NFL Dream Matchmaker. And then final show shout-outs will commence. And after that, you'll see your boy at the Combine. Make sure to stay tuned for my content on my Instagram page, Tyler A. Gates, Tagline 205. That's all lowercase, no punctuations. Also, keep up on the YouTube and TikTok. So, we'll be right back with NFL Dream Matchmaker. All right, guys, welcome back to the Tag Live 205 talk show on Millions.co and YouTube. Always thank you to Millions.co for allowing me to use their platform. If you are new to the channel, you can always subscribe and follow me on my Instagrams, Tyler A. Gates, and Tag Live 205 on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok now, and Twitter to keep up with my articles. You can also do shorthand as well to keep up with the newsletters that I put out as well. So, NFL matchmakers. Valentine's Day is past, but it's no love lost when it comes to these prospects and teams. So, let's play a game. Wants, needs, and perfect fits. Now, I have these lists of prospects here for you, only 5, who are all in the top 10. I'm going to go down one at a time. No particular order, but this is a specific team to fit this specific player. So number 1, on NFL Draft Maker, or Matchmaker rather, excuse me, Caleb Downs stays in state and he goes to the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes. I love this fit because you have not had a clear-cut defensive back ever since Jesse Bates III left to come to the Atlanta Falcons. You have not had even a semblance of good DB play since you cut Von Bell. Cam Taylor-Britt's the only thing holding it up. You have to have some level of continuity, but insurance for the future. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins cannot be the only thing going for you. I understand Trey Hendrickson. He might be dealt as well. Somebody else on the rumor mill. You cannot play 99% offense and 1% defense and win the Super Bowl. It's not going to happen. We all know, if you look at the Seahawks blueprint, what are the Seattle Seahawks known for throughout their history? Defense, the Legion of Boom. And now the dark side. Defense wins championships. And that's what Caleb Downs is going to bring you. He's going to bring you defense. I'm not saying he's going to change the trajectory of the Cincinnati Bengals defense, but I definitely see him being the leader right out the gate. Yes, you traded Logan Wilson away to the Cowboys. Okay, great call. You don't have a leader on that defense. Not really, because I believe Jermaine Pratt is going to be gone, or if not already released. You have somebody there who's getting older. I don't really trust him, but now you have Caleb Downs in this scenario. Somebody who's going to come right in, play the ball, be a ball hawk in the AFC North. Somebody who's going to be, without the shadow of a doubt, one of the best corners, one of the best defensive backs in the NFL once he steps into it and makes an instant impact. Number 2, I have Ruben Bain. Ruben Bain Jr. to the New York Jets. I have fallen in love with Ruben Bain as a prospect. He's my favorite. He is my top prospect in this year's draft. He's my top prospect in this year's draft. I would take him number 1, but we all know the Raiders need a quarterback, so Fernando Mendoza is going number 1. That's the obvious. But if you are the New York Jets, you know you need defense. You don't need a quarterback. Not at 2. I still trust Justin Fields. Justin Fields has never had a clear opportunity to have a clear-cut good team and make the playoffs. You can somehow give him pieces, at least, to work with, and maybe win 5 to 6 games if you're the Jets. Ruben Bain will win you two or three of those games by himself late in the fourth quarter if you give him the chance out there. I'm not saying he's going to beat the Patriots. I'm not saying he's even going to beat the Bills. But you look at a team like the Dolphins, that should be an easy win for them. But those two teams are going to be less competitive this year, as we all know. But Ruben Bain brings the energy to New York. Yes, it's not a flashy receiver. Yes, it's not a flashy quarterback. Yes, it's not offense. And that's what fans get mixed up in. We want offense. We want flashiness. No, it's never flashiness that really wins the Super Bowl. If you have some flashiness on the team, it's always going to be from the defensive back position, a.k.a. Devon Witherspoon on the Seahawks. That's flashy. Reek Willen, that's flashy. But Ruben Bain is a bruiser. He reminds me, I'm not calling him Lawrence Taylor. I'm not even calling him Jonathan Babineau. I'm going to go as far as to say I'm not even going to call him B.J. Raji because he's quicker than B.J. Raji. But when you look at how B.J. Raji on the Packers was so dominant with his size, think about Ruben Bain with his size, who's obviously a lesser size than him. But you think about Ruben Bain and the speed that he can get off the line with, as you saw in the national title game against Indiana and leading up to that in the college football playoff. A perfect match if you're Aaron Glenn and that Jets team. Number 3, Carnell Tate to the New York Giants. So you're staying in New York here, but you're going to the Giants now. Carnell Tate. I like this for the simple fact of I know Malik Nabers is coming back. Jalen Hyatt is he's not the B word yet. He's not a bust, but I would look at wide receiver if I'm them. And Carnell Tate fits the bill for me as the draft matchmaker here for the Giants. You talk about a complementary piece to Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboot and Malik Nabers, you have it right there. I even like Theo Thomas, the tight end. He's a part of that core as well. But Carnell Tate, you have Carnell Tate on one side, Malik Nabers, wide receiver 1, obviously on that side. You talk about 2 threats that you just cannot stop. In about 2, 3 years from now, I love it. I love it. The route precision, the contested catch ability. He is perfected, right? His development at wide receiver is going to be one that I cannot wait to see in this hardball offense if he goes to the Giants. Matchmaker number 4. It is Jeremiah Love, because not only because his last name is Love, I mean, Love is always in the air despite Valentine's Day not being here, but I love him to the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, I'm actually giving the Cowboys a little bit of heart here. When you talk about Jerry Jones and you talk about how Jerry Jones needs a running back, he hasn't had a good running back since Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, let's be honest. I love Rico Dowdle, right? But you let him walk too. So who's really your running back right now? Nobody. I would go after Jeremiah Love. If he is there and he slides for me, I'm thinking about taking him if I'm the Cowboys. Or I could trade up to get him if I'm the Cowboys. He's no Emmitt Smith. But when you talk about a dynamic running back with a whole lot of bursts, that is Jeremiah Love. The Cowboys need youth and versatility in the backfield, and Love provides every single last part of that. And then some. He's not Ashton Jeanty, but he's definitely up there in the conversation of best running backs since the year 2000 to come out the draft. Definitely. And last but not least, Arvell Reese of Ohio State going to the Tennessee Titans. And the reason why I have him to the Tennessee Titans is because of the simple fact that when you talk about Arvell Reese and when you talk about Cam Ward, I'm not comparing them to the Texans at all. I understand that it's their rival. But when you talk about Arvell Reese, you're talking about a guy who thrives under pressure. You're talking about a dude, a just straight up dude who knows how to ball. Arvell Reese is that. I love him to the Titans for the simple reason of a C.J. Stroud and a Will Anderson Jr. on a certain team in that division, a.k.a. the Houston Texans. You have a quarterback. Go get your linebacker now. Let's have your offensive star and your defensive star. Let's take off the Texan strategy, Nick Caserio strategy. Let's think about it. Mike B, take off the strategy. I would. I believe it fits beautiful. If then you're going into your new stadium in 2027 or 2028, it will fit beautiful if you start winning. It will be beautiful if you start winning. Beautiful. Beautiful. Hybrid defender. Can play any position on the field except for defensive back. Let's be honest. He can play the D-line. Obviously linebacker. The Mike, the Sam, the Will. And if you need him to, he can play the edge. He is positionless. Put him anywhere. He's just a dude. He's a dude. Fits matter. Schemes matter. Drafting talent is one thing, and drafting the right talent is everything. Remember that. Final thoughts and shout-outs. Of course, I always have to give a shout-out to Avion Terrell from Westlake. Thank you for the follow on Instagram, Avion. That really meant a lot, especially from somebody I've covered and I've seen play football on national television for the University of Clemson, just like AJ Terrell. I fell in love with his brother as a prospect. Did not think we had a chance in the world to get him because I thought, hey, look at what the Falcons have done. Look at what the Ravens have done. Look at what the Jaguars have done. I didn't think he was going to go that high. But I'm glad the Atlanta Falcons got him. He has been nothing but the best for them. Avion is going to be better. I believe he's going to be better than AJ. A top prospect in this year's draft for me. That is who I really can't wait to see today. He's going to be a standout today. Yes, Caleb Downs is going to get all the attention, just like I reiterated. He's going to get all the attention, but be cautious about that boy Avion Terrell. I've been telling y'all. I know he plays on Clemson. I know. But at the same time, it is not about the team you play for. It is about how you stand out on that team. It's never about the team you play for. How do you stand out? Yes, you want to put the team first, but how are you helping the team by bettering yourself? That is always one thing that I want to go down. And Indianapolis, it's different this week. It's always different this week annually because of the combine, analysts, journalists, players, reporters, etc., Hall of Famers coming back to sit down and talk to the players about their experience in the combine and their experience leading up to draft week. That is something we want to see. Prospects are going to be pacing. Scouts are going to be whispering. Ages are going to be moving. As I saw a lot of agents. I saw about 3 to 4 agents yesterday on the phones, like 5 feet away from me. Never thought I would experience that. It's a great experience. You should definitely come next year if you have not already been. I would recommend it. It is something that you do not want to miss out on. Even the fan experience is something that I would recommend. But something's going to happen today. Somebody's going to run a 4-2. I think a couple players are going to run a 4-2, actually. Somebody's going to bomb an interview. It's going to be we are going to hear about it because they tweet out everything. Somebody's going to do something in that interview that just doesn't sit well with somebody. Or somebody's going to kill the interview to the point where they have a draft promise. And somebody's going to change their family's lives today. So, final takeaways. Ohio State dominates the invite list. Quarterbacks, for the rumors heating up at least, we'll have to see where they go, that being Anthony Richardson, Tua Tagovailoa, and Kyler Murray. Matchmaker fits could shape round 1 indeed. And Indiana always sets the tone for the NFL draft. Clip it, debate it. Tag me. We're live all week from Indy. This is Tyler A. Gates, a.k.a. Tagline 205 on Millions. And draft season has officially arrived. Let's roll out. Peace.